Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the grand finals of the Game Arena Summoner Series, or as I like to call it, the Spooky Summoner Series. I am joined here by Ty Munster. Dude, how pumped are you for this?
I am pumped, and of course, immediately, Mundo goes where he pleases, and he would be pleased to enter this match in the spooky, scary Summoner Series. I mean, it should have been expected, right? The Mundo comes back in, the Wukong ban for Ohio Scarlet. They saw how that worked earlier, as well as the Ari, and immediately, yeah, I don't know if the Mundo's going to have the same level of success.
Yeah, he did say it. So, promise fulfilled from Top Dog. Respect for doing what you say, at least. Although it probably won't be super fun up against Vayne, especially if it's Vayne top. May or may not be. We will see how the rest of his draft pans out. Could pretty much be a little bit of anything for the rest of this year. Volibear, I think he's top 5 junglers right now as well, so not too shocking.
A terrifying champion, Volibear, even though I think he received some nerfs a couple of patches ago, and then he might have received some buffs, I'm not entirely sure. He's still just so terrifying to deal with, especially, like, this is one of the few champions who come late game can handle Mundo and can stop him from split pushing, and Mundo can't really stop Volibear very well from split pushing as well, unless he is like fed. If you get the Mundo fed, it can be doable, but it's so tough to stop a Volibear from walking down your entire team. And I just realized if Ohio State goes with a full V team, then that will be awesome, very funny.
Dude,
I don't know if it's possible.
I don't know if there are many characters with V in the name. Cleveland State setting them up for failure by taking Vi, by the way. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off. Cleveland State going with the Vi once again. We did see Kaisa going pretty successful for them in game number 1, and up against Vayne would not be too shabby either. So yeah, I'm wondering what Ohio State is going to be pulling out here. We've got top jungle and ADC for Cleveland, and Ohio State looking like top jungle or top ADC. So yeah, Morgana, that could either be mid or support at any rate.
I was about to say, it could be like, I was focused on the V thing. Like, you could go Vex, Vel, Cause. You could put that Volibear top and go Viego, but that bit is done. The ship has sailed. Oh, they couldn't have gone Viego. That's true.
Yeah, couldn't have done it.
That's what's so terrifying about the Ohio State's current draft is you have 3 very flexible champions, right? Vayne nowadays has kind of returned to her spot where she really deserves to be, another V champion band. In bot lane, she's been kind of ousted from top a little bit, although Mundo is a champ who she can work against quite well. You got that Volibear who can go top or jungle, depending on what you want to play with. Morgana, again, support or mid. Flex picks are very strong here from Ohio State Scarlet. These last 2 picks, even if you know what lane all 3 of these champs are going, it's still tough for CSU to ban around this, and they have to go for something a little bit unconventional. And, potentially with this Lulu ban, it could be... I
think it's correct, though.
I think it is, too, because I do think this will probably be Morgana mid. But it's a curious thing, right? They have to ban away... Like, unless it would have been an ADC, they have to target roles they're not sure about.
Yeah, I think last time I checked, Morgana was the top win rate mid laner. So would not be shocked at all to see her mid lane.
Yeah, I feel in my ranked games, I hate her.
Yep, I ban her every single game. Every game. But yeah, Kasate gonna be forced out of play here as well, and Ohio State are going to be giving us a little more clarity on where all these people are going to be going. So far, they've got a lot of good engage, a lot of good follow-up / disengage and damage, and it looks like they're going to be doubling down on that with a little bit of a recon pick. Pretty good synergy with Vayne.
The Morgana assuredly now mid lane, unless this is a jungle Morgana, although I'm pretty sure that's been patched out of existence.
Oh god, no, please.
It'll be fun. It'd be funny though. In Ohio State, they might play for the disrespect here. I doubt it, but there's always a chance. It's confirmed now with the Lulu banned away. I do think that was an important.
It's not as crazy as you might think. It's not as crazy as you might think, honestly. Zed is good into Morgana.
I was going to say, yeah.
And he's actually top 10 mid laners right now. I know he's gotten a little bit of love recently. I don't play him, but I know that he's definitely up there in the win rates for, especially for AD assassin mids. But I'm looking at their comp, and I'm seeing a lot of AD. So guys probably gonna.
Yeah, unless you want AP Mundo with the Qs, and I don't know. And yeah, it's assuredly Vayne top with this Xayah Rakan bot lane, something you don't see very often anymore, right? Even though Xayah Rakan do still have, a couple of ways to play together, you usually see them played with different ADCs and different supports. So it's interesting to see them played together.
Yep. Well, there's one thing I know for sure, and that's that Mundo is probably gonna have to go something like I would guess Frozen Heart.
Yeah.
Especially since you've got the double ADCs on the enemy team, and it would help with Volibear as well, who typically builds attack speed. So that's something that Mundo will probably have to be doing. But even with that, it's going to be probably a very painful game for top dog in the top lane. Vayne going to be outranging him pretty much the whole game. Go ahead.
It's so hard, though. Like, if you're playing Mundo, if you want to get Frozen Heart first, which might be a necessity here, right? Just to live in lane, that cuts into your survivability and cuts in, not necessarily survivability to Vayne, but it cuts into your pressure and your lane sustain where you would usually go for Warmog's first item. And that can really hurt, right? Because so much of viability that Mundo has, like we saw in the last match, is Warmog's first item.
Yeah, and the more I'm looking at the Ohio State comp, the more I already liked the Zed pick for just the laning against Morgana. But the fact that they have two ADCs for him to assassinate, I think it ended up being like a really good pick. And so I think we're going to need to see... Yeah, and basically two supports here as well. Morgana's going to be a little bit beefy, going to be going Zanya's 100%. But yeah, the only one he's not going to be able to really just one tap is going to be Volibear. So I know that I've also heard tale from Guffy, our producer, that Scrub was on Zed earlier and had a pretty decent degree of success. So I think that we're gonna once again need to see some leading from the front from their mid laner, who's been having pretty steady performance all night so far.
Yeah, and I want to ask, I'm 99% I know the answer, but just to be safe, Poppy W doesn't interact with Xayah's R, correct? I don't know why it would.
No, she's not targetable. She can't get knocked away when she's like that.
I meant her Poppy W doesn't interact with Xayah's R, right?
No, I don't think so.
It's not a dash.
Unvulnerable and targetable.
It's not a dash, but it's like one of those things where I could see it. Like maybe that's an argument because there's other games where that interaction kind of happens that way. But either way, the Poppy here will do work just straight up into Rakan, of course, but it'll also do work into this Vayne, a little into the Volibear. A Poppy picked up again here for CSU. We saw Devil didn't do great towards the mid game, but early and late it was okay from him. So gonna have to see how it works out here.
Yeah, Devil has had a little bit of a case of starting slow and finishing strong for a lot of the night. Like, I do recall last time he played Poppy, he was like 3 levels down from the rest of the lobby, but ended up having some game-deciding plays. So I still have a lot of faith that Devil can make some good plays in the Poppy because we've seen it, obviously.
Yeah, this is going to be tough if CSU do not anticipate this. They will almost assuredly be dropping one of their players.
They know 100%. They've been pinging it, and it's... If you're Ohio State's bot lane, you want to be fighting this 100%. And so, yeah, they're going to approach this very cautiously.
A couple of feathers just on the Flying Tiger. It's just some chip damage. And actually, this is the E start for Devil. Hello, big chunk damage onto Delight.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too shocking considering the fact that Rakan is a dash-in type champion. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Poppy to be doing that in this case, especially.
It's also the Q start for Rakan, which I don't usually see very often, but for Delight here, I think that it's pretty good when you are guaranteed to know that Devil is on the E. You don't want to go for too many engages, and you want the extra sustain, especially after taking that initial chunk of damage.
Look at this from the Volibear as well. Already trying to pick Zeku's pocket already. They did get that early ward up top, and now he's going to be able to know the clear speed and time. He's going to take his chickens, and also going to be taking his red buff for absolutely free. That's what Vision does for you, ladies and gentlemen.
He basically just took his own chickens and skedaddled immediately.
Oh, look how disappointed.
Like, he didn't take his blue buff, he didn't take his Krugs, he just took the chickens, or I guess red buff, not blue buff. He took the chickens and walked away.
Oh, he took his red buff too.
No, I meant his own red buff. Like, Chaluch just walked away from his own topside jungle after getting chickens and was just like, all right, it's fun time.
Yeah, he gets to have he gets to have 2 of his camps and all of his camps as well. So that's just a big time power play for him. It's going to set Vi really behind, especially when they go for the scuttle fight. Volley's going to have gotten all of the camps that he wants. He's going to be pretty much equal with Vi, and she's not going to have the red buff. So Volley will have a damage advantage and a slow advantage from the red buff that Vi will not have.
So much damage on a top dog. 2MC is able to zone away this Mundo from so much gold. Not quite able to zone him away from the EXP because he does want the gold himself there for 2MC. But this is what I was talking about earlier, where it can be so difficult to play Mundo in these types of situations where you're just bullied. You're playing against a lane bully.
Yeah, all he can really hope to do is just briefcase some of these things, take what he can get. The good news for Mundo is that a lot of his items are not super expensive, being the tank that he is. So he doesn't need to get as much gold as Vayne in order to hit his item spikes like she does. And, look at this from Vi. Dangerous.
He started that red buff just a moment ago. He's going to be able to finish it off, but not before Chaluch starts on these raptors. And based on that ward there for Cleveland State, Zeku is going to know exactly.
Oh my god! He's going in 2 for Vi? For Vayne?
Yeah, if they're able to get this, this will completely reverse the fortunes for top dog. The ghost is forced instead. You'll have to be happy with that alone.
That's still a great recovery from Zeku, though. Like, the fact that he was able to get that away from Volibear, that minimizes things just a little bit, and forcing the summoner out from Vayne as well is pretty decent. That could very well end up saving Mundo's life later, especially if Vayne is going to be controlling the wave as well as I would expect a player of his caliber to. The fact that Mundo will be able to ghost away and Vayne will not be able to ghost after him could be a life and death saving scenario for top dog.
And we're kind of seeing a little bit of the ranked difference to a certain extent here between these two teams, in particular the CS. There's one player ahead right now for CSU, and it is the mid laner of Scrub McLord. On the other side of things, CS is advantage everywhere, especially 2MC, who is 14-15 ahead right now. Hello.
Yep. Oh, he's in danger. Zed's gonna have to get the heck on out of there. But yeah, Volia once again just not respecting the Vi. No reason to do it. Oh, Scrub McLord. Oh no, he's thinking about it. You can tell that he's a Zed player. He's got that little bit of health, and he's like, should I ult?
That little bit of health and the ult, yeah, just all together, all at once. The push away there onto Ruler. Blocking the engage there for Devil. The W popped as well to block any W attempts there from Ruler, and Flying Red Tiger is just going to protect his support as they recall. And the Dragon is claimed, or at least soon to be, for Ohio State.
Yeah, that's a free Dragon. No one is really in a position to help him. Zed doesn't know what's happening. Oh, great flash coming in, able to dodge it. Poppy able to get them nice and safely away, though. All you gotta do is just hit 2 more auto attacks and it's death. But, Vi going to be a little too late there, unfortunately. Does have flash, but too far away now. And Volley would be able to join the fight as well.
Yeah, that's not too bad, though, for CSU, right? It was a flash forced there from Devil, but the flash was also used, of course, by Delight. And that was an attempted play on the lives of the Cleveland State players where, Flying Red Tiger is going to be able to stay for a little bit longer, catch the rest of that wave, get a little bit of a freeze going. But importantly, that was, again, a play on the lives of CSU, and they don't give away a kill where it looked like they were almost certainly going to give one away.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder when... I know that it's on his mind. I wonder when Scrub McLord is going to make his first roam around the map, because the thing about Morgana is, and you're probably not going to be able to kill her. Whenever she drops her W on the wave, she heals off of that. and it resets her cooldown for W. She's one of the most healthy. It's one of the reasons why she's the top win rate mid laner. Is because she's so safe, so able to sustain off the wave and clear it very fast that Zed, he's going to be wanting to get kills. He's never going to be able to get that up against Morgana unless he makes a mistake. So I'm starting to wonder when he's going to make some plays somewhere else.
It's going to be tough to make plays most of the map, though, especially considering Challenge is covering this topside river, and that's where you want to go, I think, if you are Scrub McLord, right? You want to go for this Vayne who's constantly pushed in onto the turret. Challenge is setting up for this tower dive with the ulti available to this volley bear. He'll be able to just walk it in.
Yeah, he was considering it, but instead of just going to go for the Void Grubs, he's got lane advantage in both mid and top, and he's got vision advantage. Every single thing you could want, but oh, Morgana going to show why you don't want to be going up against her, but Zed going to be able to recall in time before he gets stunned out.
A beneficial trade, though, it will force the recall there from Sigma Kitten 49, a great name, by the way, I just realized. But, I mean, that's good enough there if you're Scrub McLord. You force the recall, or at least or advising Sigma Kitten to recall with such low mana, and you're able to get the rest of this wave, shove it in. Like, I do think that was a worthwhile engage, as the Grub's quickly taken by the Ohio State jungler, who seems to be a step ahead of Zeku.
Yep, it looks like Chalush he's got Top Dog on his mind, but Top Dog knows that he's in there. So, not going to be a kill angle here for Volibear, unfortunately for him. But, yeah. Go ahead.
Mundo goes where he pleases, but he would be pleased to survive. And I agree with that decision, as 2 plates have already been taken for 2M2MC. This Vayne is already getting quite fat, especially given the fact that we're 9 minutes in, 83 CS. Once this recall comes through, if we could get a quick gold check on this Vayne in particular. Yeah, 1471 is where they're sitting at right now as the dash comes in. That's a charm kill soon to be. Yep, Delight finds the assist there to get first blood as the charm as well. The Flying Red Tiger's got no mana. The attempted follow-up for Zeku, but there's none to be done. That's also the R as well from Ruler. Forces the barrier, but not a whole lot else. But you don't really need much else there.
Yeah, they've got all the control that they could possibly want there. They got the kill onto the Poppy, and now they're going to be able to get the wave push, reset, be able to spend the gold, and next time it will be a kill with the damage that Zai is about to get with the gold that she's about to spend.
Yeah, that recall did come through for 2M2MC. I thought he would have had enough to get the item, but it's just going to be an axe and a bow in his back pocket. I don't know how they fit down there. Oh, an R!
Oh, that should be a kill, but no, she does have the hourglass, and Devil thought he was going to get it, but a great direction with the flash to survive that. Sigma Kitten showing why Morgana is the top win rate mid laner. Just cannot be killed.
Like the shield as well to protect against the additional R damage. It's so difficult to deal with if you're Zed in particular. Like, obviously no champion can handle it, but especially you need that extra damage over time that the ZR gives you.
Yeah, one thing I will mention as well, I don't know, I'm no Zed expert by any means, but I do know that the build that Scrub McLord is going with the Eclipse as well as the First Strike is more of a late game oriented build, and he is farming a lot. So clearly he's thinking that he's going to have to be, he's playing for a little bit later in the game there, which I think is 100% the right decision.
He's anticipating being the carry there, I think, and top dog.
Yeah, so I don't think he is actually going to be roaming. I think he's just going to be trying to kill Morgana, farming up in lane, and then just being big late.
I was about to say there's no flash on top dog, so he's got to play this with Ghost and R alone. That's the dive in as well from Challenge. That'll be the kill as well, sent over to 2M2MC, but there's a kerfuffle on the bot lane. Devil will be able to barely not find that
Vi coming in.
Barrier. And yeah, with the engage there as well from the jungler, that'll be a kill. Delight able to find that one as the chase down is still here onto this Rakan, but he'll be able to get that entrance escape.
Yeah, it's a shame that Vi had to stop doing the dragon, but should still be able to go back and get it quite easily. Scrub McLord is in a prime position to help out. Enemy ADC is dead. So this should be Cleveland getting their first dragon of the game, 100%.
It's their first objective of the game as well, right? They lost the Grubs, they lost that first dragon, they haven't gotten any plates as far as I'm aware, looking at it, like top and bottom, for sure, no. And I don't think that Sigma Kitten is allowed for a plate to go through yet. If barely not, this will probably be the kill coming in now, but the root is good. That'll be the kill.
He got the shot off.
Lord.
He's dead too, though, unfortunately. Just the route for Morgana is so long that the turret shot was able to get off the killing one before he was able to recall to his clone spot. So it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Not ideal by any means. That's okay. Essence Reaver. That'll be a kill, sure, for Ruler.
Yep.
That happens. It's like a Marvel movie. Well, that just happened.
Yeah. All right.
4 plates as well for 2M2MC. This guy is just grotesquely obese with how fed he is.
Yeah. Ooh, it looks like they're seeing that Zed is the one problem on the enemy team right now, as well as the Vi. So they're trying to, while Volley is dealing with Vi's CSing capabilities, they're trying to also see if they can bully around the Zed, get a kill onto him, which, yeah, it makes sense. They're winning in most places on the map except for mid, and yeah, pretty much only mid.
This is another kill as well into Top Dog. That turret will go down too. This Top Dog will try to escape, but this might have been an overextension, but he does have the ultimate soon to be available for Chalush. If they're able to finish off this kill, that's the call down, and Zeku will help find that kill. The Vikings will still fight on, and they are not done yet, as this plate has also gone in for Scrub McLord.
Yep, and it looks like Morgana is going to be going down bot up against Kaisa, which is going to be, she should be totally fine there as well, even with the extended lane. But, yeah, it's looking like they're going to try and just go straight for the turret. One good thing about Zed as well is because he is an AD champion, he does manage to take these turrets very, very fast. So it does force the TP out from Morgana.
Yeah, not going to be able to catch the rest of the CS off that wave, and the CSU are going to start to catch up on that department in particular. I want to point out Flying Red Tiger was a little bit ago around 10 to 15 CS behind and is caught right back up pretty much. Only a few CS behind at this point in time. Which, I mean, once this Cole finishes as well, all of CSU, now that I realize that, are playing for the late game. It's not just Scrub McLord.
Yeah. And it looks like Kaisa's going to be going for a little bit of the split damage, which is absolutely necessary with considering who her teammates are here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's good that they will still have some AP damage coming along here, but definitely not as much split damage as Ohio State Scarlet.
Hex Flash in for Devil, walking up, but just goes to tackle onto one of the minions. Doesn't want to go too far, as Delight is hovering by.
Yep, it's because Volibear is taking the objective. What are they going to do here? Probably not really able to do anything, because they just have no lane prio anywhere, unfortunately for them.
I mean, they do notice this, and they are going to send their jungler down to bot side. Zeku, if he can stifle Ruler a little bit here, that's the smite as well. And yeah, another kill for the Vi. 3-0 now. Starting to get somewhere here for Zeku.
Yep, and it looks like Vi is actually going a little bit more damage-oriented, which, again, makes sense considering the enemy team's comp. And, oh, might be in a little bit of trouble here, Ohio State. But no, they just evaporate that Zed, and Devil's going to be falling by the wayside as well, slamming down on the turret, and Devil will go down. Will they get one back? No, forcing the flash and the stun and knocking him away from the turret. Ohio State gonna be mopping up shop in the mid lane and taking yet another turret in their favor. 2 for the price of 1.
I wonder if the Vikings should have stayed off on the Mundo pick, because this Vayne is so incredibly fed. Past the 10 CS per minute point, I believe. This player is so far ahead of everybody else in the lobby. Even though they don't have necessarily more kills than everybody else, there is Zeku, who is sitting right there at 3 as well. This 163 CS is going to make this double ADC comp so tough to deal with, but it also might be too early to make those calls, given the state of the game.
One thing I'm pretty sure they watched the interview. But either way, right. Morgana gonna be zoning off the clone. That is gonna be a stunned Zed, just eating even more and more damage, pretty much at Morgana's mercy under this turret, and more people coming to join in on the feast.
Man, not done with the fun quite yet. Barely takes any damage from that turret shot. partially thanks to the plated steel caps. A stun there onto 2M2MC, who is realistically the big threat of this lobby right now. Third shot not going to land. The 3-hit passive. Would have liked to see it happen, but not now. And on the top side as well, Top Dog is starting to get some presence here. That is going to be a turret probably destroyed up here, keeping him in the game. The Mundo now has Warmogs. I expect that Frozen Heart to be next.
Yeah, this is exactly what he should be doing right now. That is their first turret that they've gained, and is at least making it so that Ohio State is not going to be getting the second dragon in the game for free. Devil is going to get spotted here, but that's totally fine. Ohio State get a dragon, Cleveland get a turret.
And despite the kill status, despite the fact that the CS is so heavily in favor of Ohio State Scarlet, the gold is not that far away from where CSU are, turnable. It's around 2,200 advantage to Ohio State. So it's not the end of the world. This turret will make things a little bit more difficult with 450 extra gold into Ruhr's pocket. If they can isolate these two ADCs, then all of a sudden, almost all the pressure from Ohio State...
Devil's going in.
It's going to shrink, and they have the composition to deal with these ADCs too.
Yep, Vi going to be holding going in now, and Kaisa following up. Great stuff from Flying Tiger, and out they go. Morgana with the flash, going to be killing the ADC, 100% guaranteed. And Vi going back down here as well. Scrub McLord trying to get anything out of here onto the Morgana or the Xayah, but can't get either. And now Top Dog's on the retreat here as well. But Vayne with the Ghost going to be chasing him down. This could be another turret for them, maybe even a dive coming on in here. Doubt the dive would be a kill, but they could still very much take the top turret.
A Rakan is pittance compared to what CSU were hoping for there. They only get the support. The ADCs still stood without a single shred of damage on them, seemingly. As now, Top Dog is going to be able to hold off a little bit of this Volibear's engage, but all of a sudden that slight advantage has massively exploded.
Yeah, and with Mundo being the only one alive, Vayne is pretty much free and clear to go and take control of this top area here. Might need to go and give some assistance to Volley, but yeah, this should be a one fight for them unless Kaisa gets this hit off on them, but no, they get yet another kill onto the jungler. Nice job forcing him back, but in goes Rakan, knocking both of them up, and that is a very, very dead bot lane. In comes Vayne with the Ghost once again, and that is... Yeah, dude, it's looking pretty good for Ohio State right now. That's all I'll say.
They just respawned, man. Like, they just respawned and they're immediately sent right back packing. Scrub McLord tried to get a split push there, push in the bot wave so that they can get that bounty, right? The objective bounty, gold. But he has to recall or else they're just going to give away the game in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for Ohio State right now. I try to... I don't know, I'm trying to see the pathway to victory for Cleveland State right now, but it's not very obvious what that is. Chalush is going to be likely going down here, but possibly not. Zed kind of come in here and get the shutdown kill. Okay, that is good that Zed was able to get that. They're pretty much relying on him at this point. But at the same time as that's going on, it's going to be Otacon pretty much guaranteed into the hands of Ohio State.
I mean, CSU will be able to push out mid and top waves potentially here, and especially if Top Dog can scout out this Morgana. Yeah, the recall was stifled there from Sigma Kitten, but he doesn't actually go for anything. I don't think he actually saw him. I think it was more so Sigma Kitten, just a little bit of fear in his heart. So, like, yes, that was a decent kill for CSU. Yes, Scrub McLord got the shutdown. Now he's got one of the Hydra items. I don't remember. I think that's Profane Hydra. There's not much to be done now.
Yeah, that is Profane Hydra.
So hard to tell sometimes.
That's all good. There are a lot of Hydras.
There are. There's I was about to say 4, but I was thinking of Umbral Glaive. That's not a Hydra.
Yeah, there's like 3. Oh, in goes 2MC. Before I can get done saying his name properly, he's about to kill Zed. But it looks like Poppy coming in here, but Zed gets the shutdown with the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Incredible. Volley gonna be coming in here from behind, catching Zeku on a very unopportunely placed recall, and it's looking like he can just be the one-man show. Him and Rakan, that's all you need to take down 2 dudes. But Yeah, Ohio State letting nothing go for free. You take down my ADC, aka my top laner. I'm gonna take down 2 of you.
I mean, at the same time, Scrubnik Lord did find a second shutdown there, which is great. But, I mean, how much will that realistically matter? Is Top Dog trying to beat down a little bit on this Morgana? The chains will stun up this Mundo as he doesn't have much else to do. The killing spree announced as Chaluch beats down onto the Zed. The R now pops as well, but this bot wave is going to be pushed down to the inhib, I got a feeling.
Yeah, Mundo is, despite Sigma landing every single skill shot, definitely safe up here unless Vayne comes up and gives him some assistance. But that's not the main focus of the map right now. Mundo actually wants Morgana to be stuck up there with him, because then Morgana is not helping on this future dragon fight. Ohio State pushing this in as far as they possibly can, seeing if their opponents will engage on them, which they do, and this very squishy Vi is getting obliterated. Yeah, definitely going a little bit more of a lethality build, as you can see, building Eclipse and Collector. They don't really have too much tankiness in these fights, unfortunately for them. Vi goes in with the ult and then just kind of dies. I don't know if I like that pick too much. I understand the reasoning, but it's just not having the impact that they were hoping.
And, like, I think it was a necessary pick. Like, they have to still play. If I were to go back in time and see this draft again, I don't think they have other options than the Vi. They need something divey, like, that can just go for kills.
I'm just talking about the build on the Vi, to be totally honest.
True. That's true.
Just
like,
the build is the problem, in my opinion. It is a lethality Vi build core item, but I just don't think lethality Vi is what you need here.
Yeah, like, I think you do need to have some defense, because you can't expect Top Dog to be the defense in this composition, especially with a fed as hell Vayne. There goes the R in there for the Xayah, but is it going to be enough? As Ruler seemingly looks to go down, that's going to be the Kaisa finding the kill, and hello, Volibear. Did he teleport with that R? No, it was the R from the Poppy. What am I thinking? Sigma Kitten pops the Sony, it's another kill there. That one on to Devil. The support is down, and another kill here for Top Dog, who is still surviving.
Oh, Red Tiger, though?
Down on this, and Red Tiger, yeah, he's going to be able to find that kill. There goes the bear, landing right on top of him, and now only Top Dog remains, and he's got an opportunity to stave off the assault for now, but will it matter, man? Look at mid! Look at mid!
Yeah, the good thing is that those turrets will come back after a certain amount of time. That turret that he left will not, unfortunately, but he can't be in both places at once. It does still, while the turrets are down, leave them wide open to a counterattack down mid, which you don't want. But at the end of the day, Dragon is still up. Ohio State did just take a lot of good prio for themselves in the mid and in the bot, so it's looking pretty good for them to get.
7,500 gold lead now for the side of Ohio State, and it's only climbing as the game goes on. They're slowly but surely running out of chances on the side of Cleveland State University. Hexplate equipped now for 2M2MC. There's three, nearly 4 full items now for this Volibear of Chaluch. It's getting to that point in the game. It really, really is. I know I've said it a few times now, but 25 minutes, like, the Vikings need to find an opportunity to engage onto specifically 2M2MC, and then maybe Ruler? I don't even know who's a bigger prio.
They both are, and that's one of the main points of the comp as well, is that they are both main targets. They can both dish out the damage and be threats to Mundo at the same time. It's looking like Rakan is going to get out of there once again, picking the pocket of his opposing support and getting away absolutely scot-free. They will be picking up the Baron now as well. Dragon should be free and clear for Vi, but they're going to have to go home. They're going to have to recall, because this could be endgame if Ohio State Scarlet plays their cards right.
They will be able to at least get a couple more, items, even if they're only components, right? There's the Heartsteel, looking at potentially getting the Titanic Hydra next up for Top Dog, if they even get that far, as the team fight will now begin around these Nexus turrets. It's a 4v5. CSU are missing one of their players, but soon they will return, as Top Dog already is missing about a third of their HP.
Yep, and they're about to be getting attacked from 2 sides now as they go and take out that inhib. So your minions going to be coming from bot and mid. And those are going to be 2 sources of Baron minions, making double trouble for Cleveland State University. Solid little hit onto the Vi, who is very squishy and taking a lot of damage. Poppy trying to come back in and make it so that she can get back to her Nexus without dying. Dies herself, but definitely a worthwhile trade. 2M2MC having a little bit of an auto off with the ADC 1-for-1 trade, but at the end of the day, it's going to be still looking good for Ohio State. Coming in, Kaisa trying to be the hero, but gets knocked off by the Vayne, condemned into the wall. It was a valiant effort, but it's looking like Ohio State just got exactly what they need to put this game to bed.
There's a chance to hold here. Scrub McLord needs to go crazy onto this ADC. Ruler with the R. That'll be the barrier to block, but he's not able to survive that one long enough. Top Dog needs to choose his targets wisely. It's a shutdown there, but the Morgana is still on the Nexus. Here comes Devil coming right in. We'll be able to push this Morgana either into the wall or even further away towards the fountain, perhaps. Choosing to go further away once that shield breaks, I'm sure. And there we go, but the minions are still on the Nexus, and it doesn't matter one bit. Ohio State Scarlet win game 1.
Yep, starting off the series strong, are reigning champs. Not too surprising to see them playing, coming off the blocks, firing on all cylinders despite the extended break. I do want to point this out for you guys as well. For those of you guys that weren't here earlier, the 2 series were going on simultaneously at the same time. The last one we casted and the one that Ohio State played. Ohio State was sitting there waiting for probably about at least an hour.
They finished their match before we started game 2.
Yep.
Is how fast it went. That is how fast Ohio State handled their opponent, whom I don't remember who it was. I can check the Discord real quick.
We can bring up the bracket as well real quick.
Yeah, we can also bring up the bracket real quick. They had handled Miami so incredibly fast. Miami University weren't even a threat to them, and CSU don't seem to be faring too much better.
Yeah, unfortunately that is the case. I did see some flashes of brilliance, some good moments there, especially that Kaisa moment at the end. I thought could have turned it around, but unfortunately, Ohio State are just too quick on the draw. They're too icy. They don't let stuff like that fly. And instead of being a moment where they could have turned it around, just got condemned into the wall and killed by the Vayne. But again, flashes of brilliance, good moments for them. They just need some better picks, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, but they have another opportunity for this draft. They have a new way, a new chance to get through the things that Ohio State Scarlet are showing them. And I think that now they have the knowledge about how Ohio State Scarlet wants to play beyond their earlier match. They had some nerves coming into this. Usually, I will admit, when I've been in that position and I say I have nerves, I mean, I think I'm going to lose. So, the expectations might be a bit tempered here for CSU, but if they still got some fight in them, we will see it.
Yep, and we will see it right after this break, Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with OSU versus CSU, and we're already off the blocks fast with some ADC picks. I was not expecting Corky, but here we are, Ty.
We were talking about that guy, that old fart up. It's so weird to point with the camera. That old fart up there, right before the game, I said that CSU's ADC is pretty good at Corky, and you were like, I don't think we're going to see that. And the very first pick and the potential final draft of the tournament is the old fart.
Yeah, the justification for me saying that, by the way, is Corky is bottom 5 ADCs right now. So, yeah, that's the reason why. It looks like we're going to be going Lucian Pantheon, which is a decent combo. But I don't know. I feel like the reasoning behind the Corky pick is, one, he's good at it, and two, they're probably feeling themselves pretty good right now after that last game. Ambessa, okay.
Okay. Ambessa, a pretty decent champ, I feel, ever since her release. Once you get to a certain skill level, she's always going to be playable to a certain extent. And I do like the way that CSU set this up. I have to say, again, we were talking about it a bit during the break. I think that they showed their hand a little bit too much by picking a quick top. Less of an issue with Ambessa, right? Ambessa's not as counter-pickable as the Mundo is, but Renekton is a damn good pick if you've got anything to go against Ambessa as a counter pick. But I do like the bot lane that CSU has to handle Corky Nami.
Yeah, we were talking about this during the break as well. Cleveland State is having some really interesting pick orders with picking their top lane, locking it in really early on. You notice that Ohio State isn't really locking in theirs so much until after Cleveland does the same. And I feel like that pretty much always gives them the opportunity to counter pick. Like, first pick Mundo, second pick Vayne, third pick Ambessa, and then third pick Renekton. And so I feel like Ohio State is definitely getting a little bit of a boon by constantly having the counter pick top.
Yeah, it's just kind of free there, isn't it? And I will say as well, this is the first time for Ohio State that they have drafted a lineup where there's not really much flexibility in where these champs are going to go. That's been a big thing for them so far up to this point, is like they've drafted champs where it's like, I got no clue where this guy is going. But now the only champ who's even remotely like that is Corki. Could go mid, but I expect that in the ADC spot. So we generally know where all 6 of these champions are going to be, unless this is like a Pantheon mid, Pantheon jungle, I think.
I used to play Pantheon mid, but that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, same.
2 years ago.
And the Sejuani, I really like that pick as well to give you a tanky frontline for Ohio State. Does Cleveland State have an answer for that? They do need a tank.
Yeah, they do. It's not going to come in the form of their top lane or their support either, so it's going to have to be some sort of
jungler.
Yeah, they're locked into some sort of jungle. Who did they pick the last time in this situation? I think it was Jax when they needed something like that, but Jax wouldn't really suffice here. Oh,
ooh.
Looks like Pantheon top and Bessa mid?
No, I think, no, it's Pantheon jungle.
Pantheon jungle. You're right. That's the one that I thought the least. Yeah, especially because of all the big time nerfs on Pantheon jungle. I'm questioning this pick a little bit, but let them cook.
I'm not gonna lie, I had some words if they went with the Yasuo, because that would be a full AD comp. But I actually really like this. It's weird. So Ohio Scarlet
needed some range.
Yeah, they did need some range. They also needed some AP, right? But this is a weird composition that CSU is on now. Pantheon jungle is almost certainly something Ohio State Scarlet wasn't prepped for at the start of this draft. Talia will be a damn good pick into every single champ that CSU is on now, by the way. So that's a great last pick here from Ohio State Scarlet. But it's a weird draft. It's a really weird draft for Cleveland State, and I do actually find it something that I do think I would enjoy, especially if this Pantheon, please don't be another lethality jungler.
Yeah, I agree. We need to see some bruiser jungles here, but yeah, I've seen Ambessa jungle before, but I doubt it's gonna be the case here. But yeah, I think Vex is a pretty good call into, like, say, their Corki, their Renekton, their Sejuani, but Talia is also a good call into the rest of their comp, and is also very annoying to deal with as Vex. Vex is one of my main champions, and I roll my eyes every single time I see Talia locked in against me. So yeah, it'll be a difficult lane, I will say, for the Vex, but again, based on what we've seen so far from Scrub McLord, I have total faith that he will be able to weather it. He looked like probably one of the most steady players of the last series. And so I don't think like the lane versus lane is likely to be an issue for him. I think the only thing is likely to be the team fight scenarios, because he's going to have to be the one that just like hits his ult, goes straight on in to this comp full of bruisers that can just crush him pretty much.
And I will say, like, Scrub McLord is the player who's the highest rank on CSU, although that doesn't, of course, mean as much as it could. I think he's the highest rank. He was the highest rank in the past. He's the player that I think we can both agree had a great performance in that last match. And so if there's anybody who I would choose to be going like potentially weak into their opponent, I would choose my mid laner, and then I would probably choose my top laner, specifically because I'm not as scared of a Renekton who is absurdly fed with this comp for CSU as I am a Vayne in the last game.
Unfortunately, they are both going to be going in weak because these are both counter picks.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I would rather those two be counter picked than, say, my jungler or my ADC is my point.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes. I know that as a Vex player, like one of my 3 top pick champions, that there is a build where she is a little bit more utility based, where you go shoot, what is that? Phase Rush, and then you go a little bit more like Blackfire Torch and then Cosmic Drive, and you put off a lot of your abilities, a lot of ults, and you're also very fast in and out type thing. And I think it could work decently well here, because you've got burst from the Pantheon, you've got damage from Mbessa, you've got damage from Lucian, so you could probably afford to be a little bit more like hit and runny type Vex. I think both builds could go pretty decently here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to see how things go. They should be going into lobby any second now. How do you feel? I want to hear a little bit more elaboration, because I do know, of course, that Renekton is a good counter to Mbessa, being able to lock her down with that W. I want to hear you talk a little bit more about the top matchup here between these two teams.
Well, Mbessa is good into tanks, but bruisers like Renekton, not so much. This is probably one of the most difficult ones you could go up against. She relies quite heavily on her dashing to do stuff, and Renekton has the ability to interrupt her from doing her dash related combos. And you see, Top Dog knows this. This is why instead of going for Doran's Blade, he's gone for Doran's Shield. And he's also gone for
oh no.
He's gone for
we're
Grasp.
face checking. We're face checking.
Before I can even finish describing why the matchup is difficult, we are greeted with why one of the matchups is difficult. So, self-explanatory. I rest my case. So,
just Zeku just walking into it, though. That's like that's unfortunate.
I mean, I get the idea. You got to try something different to try and beat out these guys, because if you play symmetrically like these guys, you try to go CS for CS, lane for lane with them, they will probably win. So I think they're just trying to make their opponents as uncomfortable as possible by doing some things that they wouldn't exactly expect, but that is not something that would be unexpected, in my opinion. It looks like we are going to be going with the burst build for Vex, and which makes sense considering the lane. I think that I do stand by what I said earlier, though, about the phase rush being potentially good into the comp overall, though. I do see it being... I understand why, though, again, with the Mbessa going to be going Undying, Grasp, and all that. So we're not going to be having the damage from Mbessa, which means we will need it from Vex.
Yeah, and he's getting some really good trades here. Sigma Kitten
He's
taking a
crushing it.
ton of damage. Yeah, that I do think that the way that things are going, phase rush is great, of course, but playing into a player where you are probably the carry on the team, right? Playing Scrub McLord here does have quite a bit of pressure to be the best performer on the team, so I think the Electrocute is a necessity to be playing with.
Yeah, you're right about that. Looking at it from that perspective, absolutely. It's like Red Tiger's going to be going in here, but this is not going to be a kill angle, honestly, so they're just going to be backing off for that. Pantheon coming in from the side. Oh, this should be a kill, absolutely. And Sejuani, looking like she's in a little bit of trouble here, is going to be getting one back at least. Pantheon should be able to potentially walk this down, but the flash is still in hand, and so Shalush will be able to get away, taking some damage from the wave. Pantheon has to get the heck out of here. And Talia going to be coming back, solidifying the deal. And oh no, he hasn't taken his bot side yet, which means that Sejuani is going to be able to steal it from him. If he goes back in, he's toast.
He has to play the super scared, especially with that ward present. There will be a bit of coverage from Scrub McLord, but I wonder if Zeku can even fight these Raptors. Okay, he can with an early smite. But it's rough there. He will be able to, I think, clear them all out without too much concern, but the red buff is going to be fully contested here by Chalush.
Yeah, and oh, Talia sitting there ready, knowing what's going to happen. Free kill for Chalush, courtesy of Sigma Kitten's Roam.
And yet again, the top lane is being a bit beaten down, bullied in by 2M2MC here. Not just the support or the ADC top lane. As Dog takes so much. Tries to go back in, actually. We'll get the shield health to, prevent any further engages. But A lot of damage being pumped into Top Dog there.
Yeah. So looking at things holistically, it's so far so good in the jungle for Sejuani.
Yeah.
Matchup's going exactly as expected for Renekton.
Yep.
Scrub McLord had a decent moment. Ooh, Ruler might be in a little bit of trouble here, and oh, he is going to be able to just so barely get away. Delight
I don't think
will be falling up to the the guns of Flying Red Tiger. So I was about to, just as I'm going through who's winning where, we're going to finally have a side winning for Cleveland State.
And that's so important at that moment, especially because there were some pretty poor trades early on. This is going to be a catch on the Sigma Kitten who's probably just going to walk into the turrets. Yeah. Just going to slow down that wave, get an execute going. But there were some trades early on between Flying Red Tiger and Devil that I didn't like. Devil went in level 1 while both his opponents were level 2, and it did drop his HP by quite a bit. So seeing that it ends up working out is so important for Cleveland State's chances in this match. And reminder, this is still best of 3, as you see there at the top of the screen. The 2 bubbles per team. You only need to win 2 games.
Yep, and a lot of respect for Top Dog for not dying yet in this matchup. The one thing he does have to worry about is level 6, which I'm sure Renekton is about to get off this next wave, and it's going to be coming back towards center, so Top Dog has to play his cards very carefully here. Vex is going to be doing some good damage, but without the wave in front of her is just going to get smacked down by a lot of these things, but Sigma Kitten taking the full brunt of the queue. Can we get back to top lane for just a second? Yeah, oh, never mind.
Oh.
Scrub McLord is going to be going in and getting a kill! Level 6 timing. I was expecting it for top, but the level 6 timing for Scrub McLord, absolutely massive.
That's going to be the fight there, and also the reset on the R. Yeah, Scrub McLord is going to keep going in here. He's going to get another kill there. As Zeku trying to beat back.
He's goated.
Another ulti. 3 charges of it. Once you remember, resets on champion takedown. That is a huge turnaround for Cleveland State there on the middle side. And one thing I actually wanted to point out, it's a perfect timing. Now after that, Scrub McLord got Dark Seal. He's already got 5 stacks on that thing. I was about to say I don't know if I like that. You know, you kind of have to. It's
smart,
very greedy. But no, it's turning out, and yeah, it's smart.
Yeah, he did get a little bit of something earlier on the Talia, and so it does make sense to get. Pantheon can't take this fight, being a level down and having no prio anywhere. So he's just going to have to, unfortunately, take the L on this one, and then, I guess, wait for his golems to come up and hope he doesn't get contested for it. Probably won't because Dragon's coming up, but still feels very bad.
And we're still waiting a little bit. It's going to be another minute until these grubs are up. So if you find a way to stall out the Dragon contest here for CSU, you will be able to play, you know, cross-map an objective for an objective, which isn't too bad. It's just that Ohio State Scarlet are already on the Dragon, as this fight on top lane is not favoring Cleveland State.
Nope, but Pantheon might do it. Scuttle is up, so he might go, but unfortunately he doesn't know that he is walking on not 1, but 2 wards right now, and it looks like Renekton is considering it. Nah, he's going back now, but either way, they know exactly where Pantheon is, free Dragon, and they're gonna just play accordingly.
Yeah, not much you could really do for 2M2MC. There, like, you can chase, but then Top Dog will be right behind with the ulti. Sigma Kitten dies again, thanks to Zeku. The mid laner is having a nightmare of a time. This is a clear advantage for Cleveland State so far in the mid lane, and 6th stack of that Dark Seal. You would have loved to see your mid laner get that kill, but you're just going to have to be satisfied with what you got.
Yeah, oh, bot lane might be having some crazy stuff going down. Pantheon looking to extend the lead here as well. He's like, you're going to take all my camps? I guess I'll just gank! But TP coming from behind. That's a dead Lucian. Talia coming in here to pick up the pieces here. The Weaver's well behind. Devil completely cutting off the retreat. And Pantheon as well. He's just stuck. He's just dead as Sigma Kitten will mop up shop. Devil still somehow alive, somehow killing the Corki, but will meet a untimely end nonetheless.
Devil had a schmooze there for a little bit as well. Yeah, that was pretty good. The fact that they were absolutely dead there after their initial engage, Zeku, right, did fall. It was not a great fight for CSU, but you got to go for things like that, and that didn't go as bad as it otherwise could have. This is going to be a kill here from 2M2MC onto top. Dog, as, I mean, Scrub McLord, he's just killing Chalush.
Yeah, ooh, Renekton might be getting a little bit in too deep here. Does realize the situation that he's in and is going to back off to the Pantheon. Bot lane is going to be roaming up here, though. TP coming in from Ambessa, and that will be grubs into their hands, at the very least, 2 of them.
Are you seeing how far behind Zeku is right now, by the way? He just got level 6, the last player in the lobby other than Delight to get to that point. Flying Red Tiger dropped so low with Sigma Kitten, trying to finish this one off, but the avoidance on the rocks. As he keeps avoiding, he's actually playing this perfectly almost.
Yeah,
he's taking so much damage.
He's trying to break vision, but Talia's no fool. Just throwing him in there. He's trying to play with vision so that she can't just, like, you know, hit him and stuff like that, but yeah, that's a death.
Eclipse claimed as well already for 2M2MC. Meanwhile, all you've got for Top Dog is a little hammer and a sword. It's slow goings here for the top lane.
Yeah, it's just the matchup. It's to be expected. But ooh, Devil going in like an absolute wild man, forcing the flash out of Corki. Pantheon flying on in by the seat of his pants, but maybe a little bit of a turnaround here. Vex coming in from the back, though, could potentially make a little bit of a turnaround scenario here. It looks like it's going to be spotted, though, and Talia is going to be calling that out for her team.
3 players went for the boots. Rune, the magical footwear. That is a weird thing. You don't see that very often. Multiple players going for that in a lobby, I don't think, is... I mean, the leave there of Top Dog, I don't know where he went. I think he just recalled. Yeah, that's going to give plates over to 2M2MC, who, if he wasn't already fed enough, 11 minutes in, 81 CS.
Yeah, usually in my experience, you only take the boot rune if you're expecting to get kills. So, granted they're only down by 1 kill. Ooh, going on in for round 2. Vex, unfortunately, can't quite finish off the very healthy, the very tanky Chalush.
8 stacks now, though, for this Dark Seals. Scrubbic Lord slowly but surely becoming more and more deadly. And it's not even slowly at this point, it's becoming very, very quick. Top Dog takes a big chunk, and that shield on 2M2MC is going to prevent that turret from mattering any damage. Just completely blocked.
Taking a look at the map holistically, we do have the next thing coming up is the Dragon in about a minute, and as you can see, Ohio State are pressuring top, getting good vision control. They've got every single possible entrance warded. The top little line there is all warded.
Can we get a quick gold check as well? I want to see how far ahead 2MC is. 1,700 gold ahead.
That's like half an item.
I mean, it's like 1,900 now, so it's almost a full item, depending on what item you're building. If it's a support item, it's the whole lead that Ohio State has is pretty much all for the top lane right now. Is engage,
Rip.
Yeah, Rip is all you can really say about this one. Is the freeze as well. Flying Red Tiger thinks about it, but thinks better of it.
2 kills in the Leona, by the way. But,
yeah, what's up with that?
Nah, it's just something funny that I know.
Yeah.
Oh, could be a good little move here, turning things around, but the stuns out, guns out from 2M2MC, and the health back, the outplay. Unfortunate. It was a good effort, though, from Top Dog, especially considering how behind on gold he is. He made it pretty close, but I don't think that quite hit for Vex, and so, that hit from Vex, though, and Corki will finally be getting taken out of the mid lane.
Ulti's
going to potentially be pushable.
Not ultis, but the cleanses have been so good from Ruler consistently. That's the 2nd time that the stun from Zeku's W has been cleansed away by Ruler, so keeping himself alive through the cleanse of the CC has been a priority, and it's been successful consistently as a mid-fight. Now starting to go on as Devil is overextended just a hair.
Yep. Oh no! What an ult point blank from Chalush. That's gotta sting. But Yeah. Just taking another look holistically at the map, top turret is gone. There's still a couple of plates to be gained for Ohio State mid lane. And that's why they're sending sending Renekton bottom to mirror matchup and then likely take the turret. The 2-level lead means that there's pretty much nothing that Top Dog can do to stop him. Just try and clear some waves, but might be able to get something cheeky going here on Sigma Kitten, and it looks like absolutely yes, but it's going to cost the death of Leona.
Not the end of the world, though. It's a 6-6 mid laner there. Zeku finds himself.
They should take this.
They should absolutely take this. There's nobody even close to help with this fight on the side of Ohio State Scarlet, but CSU, they're just going to opt to keep Chalush at bay as they try to get this turret whittled down.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Mid?
Yeah, they're going to take down this turret, though. It looks like Chalush is going to try and stop it. Does get back over the wall, though, but doesn't manage to stop the impending turret taking from Vex. 1 turret for 2 turrets at this point.
Yeah. What is the win con now for Cleveland State?
Pray.
Just
kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Lord, right? Like he's got Loon's Companion. He's got the big rod. He's building up to another item. So outside of Scrub McLord killing 5 every fight, what is the win condition for Cleveland State?
No, I think you've correctly identified that Scrub McLord is going to have to be the one that is doing the majority of the damage in the playmaking. They can definitely buy some time for Lucian to get a little bit more towards being up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
Pantheon, believe it or not, can still do a pretty sizable amount of damage to one of his targets. And it looks like Leona is actually looking for a shutdown on Renekton, but speaking of Renekton, getting a... Nah, probably not going to be anything here from Scrub McLord. Gotta be careful, though! Could be Sejuani turn the tables on him! And it will be. Oh, no, that's not what you need.
So many Dark Seal stacks suddenly gone as here comes Devil trying to stifle the escape of 2MC as well as stun from Zeku. There we go, the Dominus as well up, and that's a huge amount of healing from the Q that is just going to be too much damage to survive. That will be the Mbessa Medarda. Getting that shutdown is... Hello. Where are we going with this one? Oh, we're going to mid. Oh, we're going to mids in him!
Calculated. But, yeah, this is good from Ohio State. They're going to be punishing their opponents from stacking so much in bot, and they're going to be taking a turret of their own. This is, again, still necessary to do from Cleveland State, but, man, it just... Ohio State is just doing all the right things, too.
I mean, you say that, but Scrub McLord, about 75% back up to the ulti. Yeah, not going to be able to chase, actually. That looks like an opportunity there.
That's more than 20 seconds, so he's not going to be able to do anything here.
They might be able to get Chalush here, as you see the rest of Ohio State Scarlet is coming by to help out with the jungler, but that Blast Cone should mean an escape, if just barely.
Oh, does get the ult out.
All 5 here.
Oh, might not be able to get out, but... Yeah, Mbessa will get the shutdown here. 3 kills now on the Mbessa. Honestly, a little bit of a glow up for Top Dog.
Oh my god.
What a hit. I don't know if he takes that, though, honestly.
No.
I don't think he does.
Not a chance in hell.
Still impressive.
And there is a TP here if Scrub McLord wants to try to match this bot push from 2M2MC, but...
I don't think he TPs to this turret at all, no.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it's worth whatsoever. Just go for the inner turret as the defense here, and Flying Red Tiger's on his way to it.
Yeah, notice he is saving the Demolish proc.
Yeah.
Not hitting it, so that he can use it on this next one here. And Top Dog could be in a little bit of trouble, forced to flash. Does get the stun, and Talia knocking her back into the gauntlet, but Top Dog should be able to survive this. Devil, though, getting frisky with him, but yeah, this is about to turn into a 5v5, but Cleveland State just gotta chill under their turret. Vex, in the meantime, pushing top, but Corky pushing mid could very well get this inhibitor.
I mean, the defensive position here from CSU, I do think they'll be able to hold off on whatever Ohio State Scarlet can go for other than this inner bot turret, right? But on the other side of things, like you say, Scrub McLord is pressuring out on this top side. He should be able to get that one before the arrival of 2M2MC, and all of a sudden, Top Dog is gone as Zeku goes for the engage here onto Sigma Kitten, but with that heal, that will be the escape of the Talia without too much of a concern as the wave crashes in for Delight, and that will be a knock-up as well. It's just so much damage, so much presence there. The top turret doesn't even go down for CSU, but so it could have been good, what could have been adequate, ends up being nothing.
Oh, it looks like Devil's going to be falling now again here as well, and Cleveland still falling back. I respect the split push from Vex. Someone has to do it. But Vex is not the one you want to be doing split pushing. She's not really known for her split pushing capabilities, so it's very unfortunate that Scrub McLord, who they really need in these team fights, is the one that is being forced to go this side.
This recall there from Sigma Kitten. They're going to stop it, but I don't think it was one that was really going to be committed to. As there's the engage. Scrub McLord, so much damage, but they're able to capitalize, able to crush it. The public execution in the backline as well for the Mbessa, but it's nothing. It's nothing. It matters not, as all the players are dead except for one lowly supported Devil. 5 levels behind this Renekton. Is there anything that he can do here?
Again, he can pray, but I'm not sure his prayers are going to be answered here. He's going to try and get a kill on the support, just for the ego, for the clout, and he does. He might be able to do something to the Corki here as well. This is... No, that's going to be all. 5 seconds before the entire team is up, though, so they won't go much further than this, but Ohio State's still punishing their opponents hard for their bot lane defense.
I mean, it did stall them long enough, yeah, and with this, I mean, is he taking damage? I can't really tell. Did his health bar start there, or did it end there? Who knows, as the Talia got blast coned into a position he didn't want to be, and yet the escape is still easy as can be seen.
Yeah, Zeku's gonna try and chase this guy down and should be able to, but will likely die by Chalush, just lurking and roaming, flashes over the fear or anything like that. And yeah, it's once again Ohio State completely baiting them in. And might go in for round 2 here. Does kill one, tries to flash for the kill into Chalush, but doesn't quite get it. Chalush is going to be flashing right on back and answer. This is actually a decent looking scenario for them. They just have to worry about Renekton, who's coming up behind them now, and right next to Red Tiger, the ADC dashes in, and that is a very, very dead Lucian.
That's a very fat Crocodile as well. 191 CS, 5 and 2. He's going to chase down the Mbessa. If Top Dog can recall, there is some defense to be had with Zeku there as well. But, I mean, there's some defense, and then there's actual defense. One of which is not here with this 11k gold lead that Ohio State is very visibly holding.
Oh, Mbessa with the death.
Just with the death?
I guess is what I was about to say, but he did get a little bit of a grab onto Corki, but the damage from Renekton is just too incredible. Sigma Kitten.
Zonia's just to survive for a little longer. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't
creep alive, but this could be the last fight of the game. Chalush is going to be getting the better of Devil, but all the while, Flying Red Tiger being able to free damage a lot of the carries. Corki will be down for the count. Dragon's still up, but there's not much that Cleveland can really do about it. They've got 2 of their players down, and the enemy team has just got them fully pushed into their base.
Yeah, even the best fights from Cleveland State furthers this gold lead in advantage of Ohio State Scarlet. It is only getting worse.
Is he gonna ult this? Is Pantheon gonna ult this? I think he's gonna do it.
It's possible, but no, there's not time to. If he does, he's dead. And Otacon stands. Yeah, like, they're not going to go for this Otacon. If CSU dares to start it, they will be eviscerated quickly.
No, this is actually good timing for them to do it, because their opponents just took the drag and had a big fight, and they have gold that's unspent. So this is actually the prime time for them to be taking it. And Cleveland State doing a really good job of realizing that. Mbessa going to be staying at home and defending the shop. And yeah, Nami just going to try and steal this with an ult. Should never be allowed to happen. But yeah, is going to get out scot-free. Sejuani on the flank. Great ult from Vex to take down 2 of them. Is going to try and... Nah, that should be the end of the fight. But Mbessa's coming in. Round 2 does apprehend her. Her health bar is going down quite considerably slowly, but Corki's just doing all this damage on the back end. Good little grab and pick up, but Corki's rockets are rocking him down to very low health, trying to get the fear off, and should be able to get away, but Renekton, all the while all this is going on, is just taking the base.
it's shades of game 1 in a way, right? Where that Mundo just walked in while everybody else was
Vex is gonna get
distracted fighting. No, he will get there just in time. It's a flash in, and there was a Vex there at one point. This is getting far out of hand. 10 to 11k now gold lead, but I don't think the gold lead quite is enough to exemplify how one-sided this game is from this point forward. Honestly, at this point, praying might be the only way out, especially because there's no good focus fire onto this Corki. Ruler is the big threat in a lot of these fights. 13-3 now with 3 full items, Collector and Muramana fully built through.
You know, Divine Intervention seems to be all that's necessary, but you're getting... It's not...
Oh, suddenly Renekton is here too. Zeku is... I mean, not even a target. They know that Flying Red Tiger is somebody they have to get rid of early just in case he scales up, just in case he gets the damage in. They chase down as 2M2MC can probably go into the fountain and be okay with some of these dives. Another kill. It's a double now for the Taliyah. 2 players left standing for Cleveland State, and there's not really much left to do as this inhib. It'll fall as well, and the next turrets are now in the sights of Ohio State.
Yep, Vex gonna be able to take down the Corki in return, and Pantheon trying his damnedest to do something, running after the support, but he is just gonna get caught out, CC chained into absolute oblivion. A lot rests on the shoulders of Devil. The Leona is gonna get a little bit of help here from the fact that the inhib is back up, but gonna be a tough ask for him to hold up against all these people. Lucian comes back up, trying to get some stuns, but they're all evading the damage from the short range of Lucian. 2M2MC coming in up after him, forcing the flash, getting the stun anyway. Top Dog will finally get a shutdown back onto Lucian and goes for another one. Great hit onto the Taliyah. I don't know how much it will matter, but that's 2 of their biggest hitters down when they're all coming back up. This could actually be maybe an opportunity for Baron, bro.
I mean, maybe. Ohio State got so cocky in the mid game there that they only got 3 dragons so far. They waited so long to get that Hextech Drake CSU. I think the Drake is the bigger concern for them now. They got a couple of shutdowns. They got some gold back in them. But at this point in time, it's so hard to have any level of confidence. That gold lead has now only been brought down from unwinnably terrible to barely survivable. It's not a good position still, and I hate to be negative because these are my boys, but it's so hard to expect much from this position.
Yep, it is definitely an enviable position, but like we said, I said it in the last time, Cleveland State, they've been down before, but they still end up winning the last series. It's just going to take... They're just going to have to find something. You're going to have to find something. I am struggling to see what that is, but we will wait and see. Devil.
Dragon's up in 35 seconds, but the Baron is going to be down before that is even a consideration. I mean, they might be able to go for the engage here. Zeku does not have the ulti, though.
They're gonna have to give this and then go for Dragon, honestly. But instead they're gonna lurk around. Great block from Devil. Scrub McLord trying to get on out of there. Does manage to hit Ruler, but not enough. Oh no, Q cooldown just slightly too long, and will be dying there. Pantheon following suit as well. Devil will be the last to fall, and the supers are trashing the base, making an absolute mess out of the house of Cleveland State University.
It was a last-ditch effort there. The only option they had was to go for the fight in the Baron pit, but they were a little too late. Too little too late to flash in there. The public execution goes to the backline, but it's knocked right into the loving hands of this well-fed crocodile in the Nile. And denial is not anymore, as Ohio State Scarlet have slain Cleveland State and are now the champions here at the game arena.
Yes, the crocodile will be denied the victory no longer, as we finally have our champions coming back in once again. I don't know how many times this is in a row now, but OSU defending their championship title very, very thoroughly up against CSU and all their opponents today. Once again, showing why they are the top dogs in the Summoner Series.
It was a beat down the fist bumps coming in here for the side of Ohio State Scarlet, but I think again this was to be expected, right? I think that a team of I think they said GMs and masters or challengers and masters, something of that sort. The fact that Cleveland State put up the fight that they did is something to be admired at the end of the day, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. They had some, like I said, they had some moments of brilliance, especially again. I've been saying it all night. Their mid laner has been their steady performer throughout the entirety of the night. He had some good moments, and in fact, he won his lane.
Yeah.
he was thoroughly beating Ohio State's mid laner for the majority of the game. The Unfortunately, it wasn't able to be spread out the lead to the rest of the team just from the overall great macro and supportive play coming out from Ohio State Scarlet to pretty much everything that was going on the map. Always in the right place at the right time, always making sure that even if their opponents got to kill mid, got to kill bot, got to kill like wherever, they were still in a good spot to either stop them from capitalizing on it on the thing that they wanted to go for, or get something else on the other end of the map so that they're at least trading something for something.
Right. And that was really what Ohio State Scarlet was so good at, was the cross map pressure that you're putting out there. Just always on something. It's like CSU never had the opportunity to get something that was left over, because even the scraps were nothing but maybe, a wave here or there. There was no scraps. There was nothing left over when Ohio State was done. They devoured everything in their path.
Yep, and we are gonna get a little bit of an inside track from one of the members of Ohio State. Sorry, yeah, Ohio State University very soon here. I'm very curious to see. I'd love to hear from Renekton, honestly.
Yeah, the
To
top
see-
laner.
yeah, I'm
Back-to-back
curious
top
to
lanes.
see. Yeah, I'd love to see like the contrast between the top laners. Like we had Top Dog, and I'd love to hear what they have to say. It looks like we're going to be getting the Shalush, the jungler, one of the main facilitators of a lot of the major plays here. So yeah, it'll definitely be good to talk to Chalush.
And
Hey,
speaking
what's
of
up?
which,
Here he is.
yeah, hello, Shalush. How are you feeling after a pretty dominant performance from you guys today?
Yeah, feeling great. It was a pretty long day, so it's also very nice to end on a win. But everybody's feeling pretty good. It's a good time.
Awesome. So I want to ask, as the introductory sort of question, we talked to CSU before this. Obviously, they had won their very close match against Manchester. They are a team who's made up of 4 seniors, pretty much, and 1 freshman. To compare to you guys, where you guys have been consistently champions of the GA Summoner Series, what is it for you guys? Are you guys just constantly getting refresh on refresh of great players, or are you guys an established core that's soon on their way out? And I'm not asking, ignore this for that question.
Yeah. No, you're good. No, actually, I just got on the team this year, and both the support just got on the team, and the ADC is just a junior. So we all have those 3 players. So me and both the bot lane are still gonna stay here for next year. But yeah, we are gonna lose our mid laner, Aiden, who's a pretty good player, and it's going to be pretty unfortunate to lose him. And we're obviously losing Tim, the top laner, which is going to be pretty rough, but I'm sure we're going to be able to find 2 good players to, win games.
So what you're telling me is to expect another year of dominance.
Oh,
coming
probably.
up real soon.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Could assume that.
So looking at the grand scheme of sort of collegiate esports and collegiate League of Legends, what is you guys' goal? Now, I mean, you've won the Summoner Series. That's sort of smaller compared to things like CLOL. What is you guys' overall goal as a program for the year, either school year or 2025?
Yeah, we're playing Vision 1 right now, and I think that's our main focus. We're doing our best to win. We're playing pretty good teams that all have full scholarships and stuff. And yeah, I think we have a very good chance of getting pretty far there. So that's our main focus for this year. We're just focusing on winning that.
Well, all right. So back to this series in general, though. What were sort of the thought processes going through your guys' head in both the series? Especially with what were you thinking when you saw the picks that your opponents were picking, the builds that they were building, and sort of some of the decisions that they were making on the map?
Yeah, honestly, we weren't too concerned about anything. We had our coach decide who we ban. And I mean, we weren't really concerned anybody would do anything. Well, our main focus was get our top ahead because we think that's the biggest gap. The top laners is probably the biggest gap between any of the players. So our main focus was just like we win top, we win the game.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We definitely saw how that played out, but
Especially game one.
Yeah.
especially game one. It seemed like you guys did you? I have to ask as well. Did you guys watch the interview that he did where he said he was gonna pick Mundo?
No, I don't think any of us watched it.
You just were like, we're just gonna do Vayne. Just off the
I
cuff?
mean, we saw the first game and we saw how he completely solo carried his game playing Mundo, but we were like, okay, we're just gonna pick a counter pick, and I don't know what he's gonna do. And that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, Ty, unless you have any other questions for Chalush, I would like to give Chalush the final word. Is there anyone you want to give a special thanks to? Anyone you want to call out, talk smack to? Anything you want to say at all? The floor is
Yeah, I
yours.
mean, good luck. Hopefully next year some good teams come as well, and come try and take this prize from us
I like it.
for sure.
All right, well, enjoy the prize, Chalush. You
Awesome.
guys have thoroughly earned it and deserve it, and we'll see you next Summoner Series.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that'll do it for our interview there with Chalush. It was a great game. I mean, obviously Ohio State Scarlet, they came in confident, they left confident. It was confidence all around, all over the place. And I mean, what do you expect from a team that is in a vacuum so far ahead?
Yeah, I like we've said, these guys are the consistent champions of the Summoner Series. Definitely head, shoulders, knees, and toes above a lot of the competition here. And yeah, we're still waiting for a proper challenger to come and take them on for the title. But maybe that'll be something for next time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be signing off from the Summoners, the Spooky Skeleton Summoner Series, whatever we called it here, hosted by Game Arena. And we'll see you guys for the next one.